WAEC. We also look at the report and listen to both parties, both the petitioner and WAEC. And we found that 5 candidates who did not write examinations had their scripts smuggled in to the examination room and into envelopes. Ms. Nimi Sandra Harry was found to have been complicated in the matter by providing the key to the examination room in her custody for them to perpetrate the act. Having fully examined the report, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the committee recommended as follows. That the Senate to urge the West Africa Examination Council to commute the dismissal of Ms. Minnie Sandra Harry to retirement, considering the years she has put in public service, and also considering the fact that until this event, there had never been any infraction or any report against her in her records. We just thought that having put in 21 years of service, that this one act, even though grave, should be committed to retirement rather than outright dismissal.
Defending workers and defending working families. But in so doing, we do it not because out of emotion. The overall intention is to ensure justice and fairness in the workplace. Reading through this report, while I appreciate the effort of my brother, not just a brother as a senator, but brother by blood, I think that he has already nailed this woman. She committed atrocities, to quote the last speaker, and in an ideal society, she's a candidate for prison. If he is guilty of the offense, as the committee recommended, what is the basis of commuting her dismissal to retirement so that the Nigerian taxpayers, including those who are victims of this abuse, when they do start working, they use their money to pay pension for someone who ought to be in prison? These are serious criminal offenses. This Senate, under your common leadership, must be seen not to bow to sentiment. This woman deserves more serious punishment than retirement. I have had cause to say to people, if the wages of abuse of office, if the wages of corrupt practices, if the wages of all of the road twists that characterize a segment of our public sector is that in the end, when you are caught, you are asked to retire. Nobody wants to die on the job. So she don't really deserve dismissal. This Senate should recommend to the Attorney General that candidates like this should be punished as a deterrent so that we restore integrity in our examination board. So I am unable to accept this recommendation by this disciplinary committee headed by a very good brother. There must be sanction. If you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Thank you, sir.
Actually, distinguished Raymond Obi, one of the staff, West African Examination Councils, that had access to the scripts room and did actually carry out the swapping, confessed that Ms. Nimi Sandra Harry showed him where to retrieve the script envelopes while she was in the scripts room, and that Mr. Joseph Pepu was the one who requested him to carry out the swapping, as the candidates were known to Mr. Pepu. Let me say that it will amount to insanity on the part of this Senate to overlook this kind of grievous offense. From what Senator Oshiomole said, there's even another danger to it. The danger here is that the Senate do urge the West African Examination Council to commute the dismissal of Ms. Nimisandra Harry to retirement, considering the years she had put into the service of the council, 31 years. This means that anybody who has put in more than 30 years and is preparing to retire can begin to commit fraud and tamper with the examination scripts for monetary gains. You understand? If we go ahead to accept this recommendation, we're encouraging people to tamper with examination scripts. If you know what WAEC is, as a student in the university, there was a child that went to WAEC and they used the WAEC final script where she had P8 or F9. They would change it to give her something like maybe C5. Everything looked original, but when you look at the original examination results they sent to the schools, as you are looking, you go and discover that English language she had P8. But then, on the paper she presented, everything was the same, except that English language she now has C5. And so it was discovered to be fake. That child was arrested and was dismissed from the university. If we have dishonest staff like this, I don't think it's something that should even come to the Senate. So, Chairman of the committee, I'll put the question because there's no need for us to debate further. Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate accept the recommendation of the committee that this grievous offense, which has been proven by 3 investigative panels, be committed to retirement instead of dismissal? Those in support of the recommendation as stated herein say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. So the woman is in the opinion of the Senate, duly dismissed from service, and the recommendation fails. So she stays dismissed accordingly.